Charle is here to talk to us about the language of behavior. She is the co-author of The Language of Behavior, a framework to elevate student success. And she's also the co-author of Improving School Mental Health, the Thriving School Community Solution, a revolutionary program to optimize student learning outcomes and well-being. She holds an MS in education and an MS in social work as a 20 plus year veteran in education in K-12. And she's a global keynote speaker. She delivers messages of hope to educators and facilitates meaningful professional learning sessions to help equip adults with the tools that integrate into everyday practice. Her unique lens as a high school teacher turned clinical therapist and her work with adolescents and families in crisis makes her stories relevant and captivating to those struggling in today's systems. Um, so we are going to welcome Charle Peck. Thank you so much for coming in. And what a profound time to be here and to be talking about the struggles and mental health. And I, I am. I guess probably because of what I do for a living and helping schools with crisis communication, and it's on the backside usually of those major events and things like that. But mental health has become the centerpiece of a lot of that in our schools. And this past weekend, like kids struggling to after the Texas flooding and all of the loss, the devastation from what there's kid, and I find myself following that, and we just need more people like you out in the world helping out and helping people um, with the emotions and processing them so that we don't get to really bad levels of taking your own life or taking other people's life. So thank you for what you do.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'll tell you, as you said that, I don't know if anyone else got this feeling, but my nervous system responded when you said that the kids in Texas. And that is a shock to our system because it's a brain body connection that we have that we need to teach everybody about. And the key is not people like me, the key is everybody who's positioned around our kids every single day. And that's why I believe our mental health will tremendously shift when we better equip teachers. And that's the work we're doing.
Oh, thank you. I have really have chills. This whole subject is really just because of what I do and what you do, and so I'm glad we're talking about this today. So let's start with some basics though. What's the difference between stress and anxiety and an anxiety disorder, and why is that important to know all of those differences?
Yeah, that's like my most popular session right now at conferences and PDs. So, stress, if you think about stress, let's think about like if a dog is approaching you. Okay, so you're walking down the street in your neighborhood and a dog comes up to you and it starts growling at you, showing their teeth to you, and it's frightening. It looks like they're going to attack you. And so your body responds to that. There's cortisol, and we have, it's actually like goes all the way up your spine because that's part of our nervous system and it just floods our brain. Just kind of think about it like that. That's how stress responds in our body. Well, that makes sense. That dog is right in front of us and it's very imminent. It's going to maybe attack us. So it makes sense for our bodies to respond that way. Well, let's now say that you're going to a friend's house and somebody says, "Oh, they just got a dog." And you're like, "Oh, they got a dog? Oh, how big is the dog? Is it going to jump on me, drool on me? I don't like this." And my body's responding to that. I'm anticipating that. But that hasn't happened yet. It's not imminent. It's not in front of me right now, but my body is still responding. That's anxiety. I'm in the future about it. I'm anticipating it.
Yes.
Right? So those are the differences there. The
Okay.
when it becomes a disorder, first of all, stress and anxiety, they're a part of who we are as humans. It helps motivate us. I think we all know that by now. It's actually a good thing. It's okay. It becomes disordered when it affects your everyday life. We're very obsessive about it. We're in our heads. We just can't sleep because something is ruminating. So that's the gist of it. That's the basics.
Wow. And I think a lot of, I mean, God, even there's a song about the anxiety now that I don't, a pop song. My daughter is all interested in that, and I'm like, but are we perpetuating that by? I mean, it's a buzzword, but how do we help kids, and what are some simple tools and strategies you can implement in your daily practice to kind of acknowledging those differences between stress and anxiety, and working through it?
Well, I actually don't think we need to worry if we're going to label it stress or anxiety or any of
Okay.
it, because I want everyone to think of all the kids in your classroom or any of the kids you're working with. Or, by the way, if you're a leader, all the adults in the building with you as well. I want you to imagine them as all nervous systems walking around. And right? Okay.
Yeah.
And so some of their baselines, they're already heightened. Like I specialize in trauma, okay? And so some of that is that anxiety behavior or the reactions you're seeing is based on trauma. But sometimes it's just stress. But guess what? Some states I go to and talk, they don't want me to say trauma. They don't even want me to say SEL. I mean, we're politicizing everything, but nobody politicizes the word stress. So if we just look at it like, okay, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I don't
Okay.
like this. My body is telling me something's not right. That's our amygdala going off. We all probably know what that is by now. But if we look in front of us and so we see people who are heightened, what we need to do is think about, how do I create a space that is a physical space and a social space, because we get to control both of those things for ourselves and in the space of others. How do we create a physical and social space in order to help minimize that reactivity that we're seeing that's showing up, by the way, as behavior, because these kids are so stressed. A lot of them coming in with trauma. A lot of staff are coming in with that secondary trauma, or by the way, they're having trauma. My very first year that I started teaching, I'm planning my all of my activities because I taught high school for 18 years. And I was planning everything, but I was going through a really tough time. I was also planning my escape to a women's shelter with my 2-year-old. And so I was heightened. School was actually a refuge for me, but when that bell rang at the end of the
I'd
day,
say your stress came
right?
back. Yeah.
You get it, right? And I think every single person listening right now has a story there. They get it. And so when that bell rang for me at the end of the day, I wasn't stressed during the day, but when that bell went off, I knew I had to go. I had to leave and go home. And so those kinds of things, the adults are struggling. I've heard your speakers talk about this. It's amazing. We all know it's there, but what the heck do we do? So you ask for strategies. It has to integrate. It has to integrate to benefit the entire school community. It can't be one more thing to do. So I'm going to give an example here. This is
Okay.
I do rapid resets, and go back, and I'll give it to you in just a second in the chat.
Rapid reset.
It's called a rapid, maybe I'll give everyone the visual now. Yeah. So
Okay,
I'm
go
going to
ahead.
go and
Here, you
give
should
this
be
link. You can tell how I feel about this by the way my speed of rate of speech is.
goes faster.
It
Yeah.
matters. It does. There's so much to say. Okay. But these are called rapid resets. And this is very brain body connection. Again, we're a bunch of nervous systems walking around our buildings, you all. And we might have a fight in the morning, in the morning with our kid in the car, or something happened at home. We just got the news of something, and you're now having to show up in a building. And other people are relying on you. So you're a nervous system. So your base mind might have been here, but it might have just raised up. And so we're just kind of elevated emotionally. And so we need to integrate strategies into our day that can absolutely work. I mean, what I learned when I got into clinical practice is that I'm sitting in here in a therapy session with somebody, whether it was a student or an adult. I'm like, why did it take them to come all the way to me in a session to learn this darn skill? When we have
Mhm.
all of these adults surrounding our kids every single day who can be teaching and modeling these skills and integrating them into practice. I know what that's like because I did it. I was a teacher. That's what saved me. And that's when I realized, oh my gosh, these kids are just struggling so much. What can we do about this systemically to make a huge transformation? Because what we're doing now isn't working. We learned through COVID that we got a ton of funding. We got a lot more mental health people in our buildings. And
We
guess
did.
what? Has anything changed? Nope.
Not a whole lot. Yep.
No. Okay. So if you guys go to click that rapid resets, this is just one little resource I created. I don't like to overload. I like to give 5 tangibles. And so that first one, there's like a sky signature, but go to the one that is the cross body shoulder tap. So if you guys put your hands out in front of you like this, I like to put the palms up, and they need to be straight up. And you take your right hand and you just touch, you cross your body and touch your left shoulder. And then you come back, and then you take your left hand and you touch your right shoulder and come back. And then you can just keep doing that slowly for 30 seconds, make it intentional. Now, let me ask you guys this. Is this something you could integrate into practice when you are standing in front of a bunch of kids who are really noisy and it's making your nervous system elevated? Absolutely. It's
Sure.
super easy. Does it cost anything?
No.
No, no. So those kinds of things. So that's just an example, but there's so many things. But you asked me how to integrate. There are so many ways to notice when that energy level has shifted and to prevent those behaviors from happening for yourself as well.
Mhm.
Those are the kinds of things we can start doing immediately just to start having some, kind of relief for that, to calm that nervous system down.
Yeah, because that nervous, you can even there's just an energy in the room that you feel that can shift and be different in that place.
Yes. You noticed it with me in my speech. Like you
Yeah.
notice,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right. And then there's this one thing that you can do, and everyone you can I call it the thumb drum, and you just touch your fingers to your thumb like that. And I always say, notice the energy of the room and what you want it to be. So if the energy level of the room is low, the motivation's low, let's not judge it. Don't be judgy about it. Just notice the energy has shifted
Right.
and you can control that space. And so you just if it's low, I always say, speed it up and get louder. Okay, everybody, let's go, let's go. Come on, touch your fingers. Let's do the thumb drum. But
Fast
also, yeah.
instead of slowing them down, you're going faster.
Yes, and I start at the bottom. I even go to the
I
floor
love that.
and raise
That's
it up.
so
So
cool
there's
'cause
lots to
you
do.
can feel the energy shift when kids are trying to I mean, at least even in my own body, like when you can feel it internally.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
all age groups, all age groups.
Yeah, right. Doesn't have to just be kids, it's anyone, adults, wherever. Um, so do you have any other simple tools that you could suggest using that you like other than I love this one too.
Yeah, there's tons. There's tons of those. So kiddos who have ADHD often, especially the boys, I notice I work a lot with these kiddos. They get in trouble so much and they're so labeled and judged and they struggle and it's based in their brain. They don't want to have these behaviors. So one of the things I have them do, and I have teachers learn to do this, and school counselors too, of course, is if they have tension in their hands, allow them to feel that tension. Have them like visualize. This is really helpful. And these are elements of like CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, that just can be simplified in a way that we don't have to be certified to use them. It's okay. We can still use them. But just notice that tension and let them visualize that as like a ball of a color they don't like. And then we can have them either close their eyes, but I never say don't ever make them close their eyes. There's a lot of scary stuff that's happened in the dark to some of these kiddos. But also they can just look to the ground instead, give them a choice, but have them visualize that in their hands and then let them like say something like, notice a waterfall flowing over your body. And as it comes down to your hands, see it like leave your hands and flow out of your body all the way down to your toes.
Ooh.
And you don't have to be like a foo-foo practitioner. I'm not like a yoga person. I love it. It's
It
great for trauma. I wish I
changes
was.
you and changes your patterns in your body, and I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good at any grade level for any kiddo that they have anger issues or there's, challenges with, right? Like that would
Yeah.
work for any of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes just pushing their hands together and releasing. I mean, there's a lot of those. And when we want to look at the whole group, I always say, let's be more playful. We need more laughter and playfulness in our classrooms. And this is K to 12 guys.
Mhm.
Um, but we can make it a lot more playful by just like not being so worried about things going the way we needed it to go, like stop and laugh. But we can then get them to move if like there's these kids need a lot of movement. So do we. So do
Yeah.
we. And so we can do touch a color instead of sitting and looking at the colors. Okay, go touch a color in the classroom, call out a color red and have them go touch color. And I always have to say, like, be respectful because they'll touch somebody's sweatshirt. Just be respectful. Or you can give rules.
You have to give parameters, yeah.
You do sometimes.
I
Yeah.
I love that. Have more fun, more playful, more laughter. And I taught high school. I loved laughing with my students. Like if you can laugh with a teenager, you can build a relationship with them. And once you have that, like teenagers aren't as hard as people think they are. Like that laughter breaks down the barriers and it gets them in your classroom. Like they'll actually attend class. They'll actually be there.
They will. And when we're laughing, our stress response system shuts down in our bodies. So you
Mhm.
can't be laughing and stressed at the same time unless you're a nervous laugher. So
Oh,
you guys
yeah,
know who I'm talking
for
about. Like
sure,
if that's
yeah.
you, you get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I go back in and tell this to people, but, one of our favorite guests that was not an educator, but is the founder of laughter yoga, Dr. Kataria, was in India, and we interviewed like at 11 p.m. We recorded the session. He's a bonus session. If you guys are in our VIPs, he's in our treasure trove. You can find him. But I interviewed him, and it was the most stress relieving. I slept like a baby that night. After I laughed with him for 30 minutes. It was somewhat uncomfortable at first, but then you just laugh, and it was gut belly laughter. And I thought, what happens if we do this before testing with children? Like,
Yeah.
because you just said it. You just said what laughter does, right?
Yeah.
And removes that stress. And I thought, oh, how powerful would that be for our students?
Yeah. And I mean, imagine the entire system of our schools. We've got a lot of people there. We can just better equip them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where we're going to make that shift. So I'm excited
Oh,
about what we can do.
I love that so much. It's so good. So how can we prep for the upcoming school year to conserve maybe my own well-being while meeting the needs of our students and our staff?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. So I have this school mental health audit that I give people. And one of the freebies, I don't know if you have the link, but I have it if you need it. There's a well-being essential workbook. What I love about this stuff, again, it's about some of it's like for the people who are very like logical thinking, and then the others like, oh, I like to think about like my goals and affirmations, but it kind of puts it together, but in a way that will help us as adults, and also we can share this with kids. So if we're in the mental health community, we all are in the mental health community, by the way, for working with kids. Um, but you can just copy this for them too. That's absolutely fine. I give you my permission right now to do that, but also use it for you. It's just a way to get your thoughts down. If you run PD sessions, I'm going to give you permission to use this and just give people space to think about their own needs. So just always integrate those little things in the day when we know that we're struggling with something. Go ahead and insert those strategies that work for you. Some people really like the breathing exercises. You can keep it really simple if you breathe in through your nose. This is DBT informed. Breathe in through your nose for just 4 seconds, like, and then out through your mouth for 6 seconds, a little longer.
Favorite.
It's so easy. But
Yeah,
some
that
people
is
are like, I don't like to breathe. Then don't. I mean, breathe to be alive, but don't use it as a
Please
strategy.
breathe, but not, yeah, you don't have to work on it
yeah. That is
purposefully.
my absolute favorite breath work, the 4-6. Like I always recommend that one because I'm like, that one you can do without thinking. Like it
Right.
does require a lot of thought. It's easy to do. And I also love that you're talking about how these strategies for us that support our well-being, our mental health, we can also teach to our students because so many of them, like you said, are coming in out of such horrific situations. They're
Mm,
coming in dealing with so
yeah.
much, and we can give them the tools that
Mm,
help them to be successful, to be able to focus, to be able to be present, to feel safe. And so I just love that, like taking care of ourselves allows us to demonstrate to our students how to do that.
Yes. And you
mm,
guys asked me how we can prep for the upcoming school year. We love tangibles. Like we need tools. That's what I'm all about. If somebody says I need this and I haven't made it, I'm going to make it because I want it to be customized to what we need. And what I kept finding over time is how do we look at our physical space and our social space in a way that we can prep and reduce those behaviors to prevent them in the first place, and for ourselves, remember. And so we have this environment inventory that we give people when we're working with them, and we have them look at the surges, like what's causing a sensory surge in your classroom versus what are you doing right already, because you are. And it's not actually right or wrong, that's the wrong language. It's what is maybe causing a calm current. And so think about it like this, you all. If you have a group of 30 kids in front of you and one or two kids is acting out, it's typically the case. You might have some like lighting issues in there or like buzzing issues going on in the hallway that might be bothering the kids.
Yep.
But if only one kid is acting out, the others are all adapting. So you don't
Mm,
have to analyze it for them. It's the ones who are acting out, we need those tools. So maybe pull out the inventory to look at then and work with the kids. Like ask the kids what they need, what they want, what's bothering them. I cannot tell you how many times a kiddo comes into my office and we start and they just say, when I put my head down on my desk, it's because the teacher or the classroom is so loud, I can't handle it or I'm so stressed. And
Mm.
then what happens when they put their heads down? What would you guys think happens when they put their heads down?
They get in
uh,
trouble. They're considered disrespectful, inattentive,
not paying attention.
disengaged.
Yep.
They get
Yeah.
yelled
Yeah.
at.
So the teacher will say, put your head up. And the
Mhm,
kiddo's like, I wish they just asked me if I was okay, you
mhm,
know? And so they will. Teachers just don't know this. I mean, when we go to school, we learn about, well, we're the authority. And that's what
mhm,
we grew up with. But we're also aware now that's got to shift. It's not about that anymore. We have to prevent the response to kids' behavior to send them out. We've
mhm.
got to now sometimes, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, I'm supportive. I get you. I was there. Right. But we've got to also teach teachers how to keep them in the building and in the classroom, coming into the building and keep them in your classroom. There's lots of great strategies for that too.
Love it. That's
That's
great.
fantastic. Yeah, and thank you so much for that gift. It's in the chat, folks. It's in there twice if you just scroll up that workbook and even that reset. And I can put them in the chat again
Sure.
if you miss them. Um,
Yeah.
the well-being essentials workbook, like that's a so many strategies from Charlie, and then
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
reset.
Yeah, there's I don't know if anybody wants a book, but sometimes they want to do so a lot of people ask us, do they want to do like a book study? And we created a free book study kit so that people don't have to think about it if they want to learn about the language of behavior with their team. Often
Mhm.
mental health teams, we work with them as well. And so that
Love
they want to do
that.
that. So if anybody wants that, I have this QR code sheet. It's just got all the stuff. If they want a book or they want to access something, it's just on one sheet. So it's there
Perfect.
as well. Just
Yep. There
check it
you
out, see
go.
if you need it.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Charlie.
Love
That
that.
was, I love all your resources and just
Oh,
simple tools. Simple. Love that.
thank you for
Absolutely.
sharing with everyone in the community today. It's so great. It fits right in with everything that we were talking about today. Like all of the of instead of sitting and getting, it's it's how do we make it actually work and working for kids. And I love it. I love the practical tools that we can use right now.
They have to be because we're in crisis. They have to be. Well, and you had speakers earlier saying that there, that one teacher who changed everything, or the other class was not great. And chemistry, I heard you guys say that. I think Kathleen, you just said that. And I mean, it's some funny. My favorite teacher was my worst class. Geometry was my worst, but it's my favorite teacher. And why do we only have that one teacher? Like, why don't we have so many more teachers who are our favorites? So we
Mhm.
do. We have the opportunity here to make this big
Oh
shift.
yeah, I love it.
Sure. Yeah, every kid should have at least one, but you're right. Why not more than one?
Yeah.
And not more
Yeah.
than one. They should have multiple people in their
Mm,
lives. Yeah, they
mhm.
deserve that.
Absolutely. And thanks for the work you all are doing. You guys are bringing so many people together and allowing space for this conversation and for sharing all of these tools. And if people do not get the VIP pack, well, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, that is absolutely incredible. So you all, if you haven't gotten that yet for 27 bucks, you need to go run and get that. There's so
Oh,
much here.
yeah, it's a like I keep saying, it just is a treasure chest of
Mhm.
of resources. So thank you again.